Hi everyone, it's Sally again with Magic Mike Moments, and today I'm very excited to be interviewing KC. Hi KC.
Hello, Sally. How are we?
Yes, very hot and humid here down in Melbourne. I feel like I'm in Bali, having a holiday without having a holiday. Anyway, welcome KC. KC is your personal psychic chef and she's based in Canberra. She's originally from Singapore and as I said, now living in Canberra. And now she learned to cook when she was 8. And I love this story because her late grandma needed her usual afternoon nap and Casey was hungry. And so what she did was wake her up and she simply said, go and cook yourself some instant noodles to kill the hunger. Instant noodles. Oh
Oh,
my
tell
goodness.
me about it.
So also as a child, she was very spiritually sensitive. She could feel different energies surrounding her, souls trying to communicate with her, and she dreamt of things that seemed like deja vu when they happened, like days, weeks, or months later. So when she learned cooking, she knew immediately this opened the door to cooking and other unseen possibilities for her. So welcome, Casey. I'm really excited to hear about your journey and some of the challenges along the way. Such an interesting person. So over to you, babe.
Thank you. So as what have Sally actually introduced me, that was the starting point of my journey. So stepping into my cooking profession, I learned cooking at 23, 24, and I started professionally at around 25. And during this period of time, I still have communication with spirits and what's not, and it actually give me good indication. Sometimes when even food is about to burn, I will just turn around, I'm like, okay, the food is about to burn. Even some of my colleagues were like, do you have eyes behind your head? I'm like, no, but I can't be telling them like the whole story. Oh, you have this and you have that. No way at all, no way at all. Yeah. So and also some of the other positive things is that, I would somehow know if the elevator is working. If it is not, oh well, things happen. We just have to carry the stuff up to the venue for catering or for functions. This is some of the challenges I'm actually facing when working as a chef. And in personal life, I feel that it is easy for me to recognize the red flags. I hope that this actually helps people to understand briefly about who I am and how I go about doing it.
Yeah, fantastic. It's such an interesting combination, psychic and a
It
chef.
is.
Have you found other people in the industry with the same combos?
Oh, of course not, because I think everyone is unique. Like Sally, yourself is
Yeah,
unique. The Bling Angel, you are able to do healing holistically in different ways, same as for me and the other fellow practitioners. Mm.
yeah. It's so true. So interestingly, part of your background. So when you came to Australia, it was to what was it? French cooking and studying pastry.
Yeah, I actually love food so much. I want to be a really well-rounded chef, doing savory food, doing salads, doing bread, doing pastry. And bread and pastry, they are not my forte because I wasn't trained in that aspect. So I decided to come over to Australia to do pastry trainings and studying more about pastry. And Australia is the nearest country to fly back home because I'm from Singapore.
Mhm.
So there's a branch in Sydney by Le Cordon Bleu, which is actually one of the top
Mhm.
French culinary schools in the world. So I have found them and I feel that that is a good school for me. So I actually head down south to Australia to study.
Down south. Yeah, I love it. And then what about your personal life? Like a few journeys there?
Well, I did. Well, part of the reason why I decided to move out of Singapore, that was because I actually had uh my marriage broke down due to my miscarriage. There's a lot of miscommunication, things doesn't get through. And although I knew that things would happen, I still stubbornly try to work things out. But well, it is what it is. I just have to deal with the heart pain, and well, that gave me a good excuse to move out of Singapore anyways. I don't feel that I have a lot to expand in Singapore with that market that's so small and very competitive. And I feel that Australia has so much of space, opportunity for me to expand. So that's why I actually came down south to Australia to actually see what I can do here. And I'm here where I'm at, being a manager of an eatery plus doing my psychic jobs, and also to learn my pastry skill, meeting beautiful people. This is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. And you've got such a beautiful energy. So we met
Thank
each other
you.
through networking. So how long have you been here now?
It's 11 years now.
Right.
And it was I would not say a long 11 years. I would say that this 11 years is actually very soulful and very helpful for me. It makes me shed off my old skin forcefully, and I learn to embrace the old self, including this new self, and to marry what I can take for the positive side of the old self, and rediscovering and reinventing myself to be a better future self.
Yeah, very healing. It sounds as though your time here has
Yes.
been lots of healing, lots of growth, lots
Yes.
of connections within yourself and where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do. And so tell me about your readings. So you do psychic readings.
Yes, I do psychic readings. I get channel messages from the spirit guides or the deceased loved ones who pass on maybe recently or for a period of time already. And I use my oracle cards to actually support my reading because they are pretty self-explanatory. So in any case that I couldn't actually come up with words, I can get my clients to read the cards. And as well, from the cards, I pick up messages as well. I can actually relate that and relay the messages to the clients, so that they have better awareness of how they can better improve their space to bring in more abundance in many other ways.
So you've always had that spiritual connection.
Yes.
So any funny stories over the years of like anyone waking you up, tapping you on the shoulder or?
Oh, you would. I actually have like a few stories. I would say it's quite interesting that you mentioned that, because just recently I actually dreamt of a friend who was taking the whole family out for a walk, and I saw her. And the next moment when I texted her, she said, I dreamt of you last week. I think we should connect again. I'm like, oh wow, cool, that's cool. And sometimes when in my dreams, I have little kids playing with me, and it's very joyful. It brings out my inner child, and it allows me to actually ponder if I have worked too much and forget about play, because work is not play. Work is just work. Play is another thing. It's about zoning into self. So I think the spirits around me, they will want me to keep enjoying while I work, whether I do reading for people or how I talk to people. There's always little joys, and like talking to you, it brings me joy as well. I can't explain that enough. I've always been telling you.
I know.
Yes.
We've got a connection, baby, that's for sure. And you're spot on. I mean, life, I'm really big about this, that life has to have lots of fun in it, right?
Yes.
Because it's all a journey. And as you go along, have fun, some happiness and some meaning to it. It's super important. And I think particularly in the last couple of years, it's been a bit of a wake-up moment for a lot of people to say, what do I really want out of life? We've had lots of time to reflect and amend, our lifestyles in many ways. So yeah, that's really interesting that you've got these
100%.
protectors around you that give you little
Yes.
ringing the
They'll
bell.
give you a
Hang on,
little
babe.
nudge and say, hey, you need to remember to play.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will, I suddenly feel my hands slip, and I will be having like cream on my apron. I'm like, oh well, it is what it is. If it was previously me, I'll be getting very grumpy. But I think learning to embrace even little things like that, it brings smile on my face.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
brings smile on my face.
Yeah, letting go of stuff, right? Don't need
Oh
to have
yeah, 100%. Yes,
stuff
yes.
that doesn't really matter. So what's your sort of favorite food?
My favorite food is actually the Hokkien stir fry,
Oh yeah.
which is like we get it from the we call it a hawker center, which is like individual stores, like a food court with a lot of individual stores. They will sell drinks and what's not. So Hokkien stir fry can be like the broad egg noodles that have been stir fried with dark sauce, or the prawn stir fry, which has a seafood like squid and prawns inside the yellow noodles, and it's clear broth. That's so good. That is one of my favorite. Can taste the flavor between the flavor difference between the two Hokkien stir fries. That's so awesome.
I am salivating. It's yum, because I love seafood. It's a really big thing.
Oh, good. Come over to Canberra. Let me cook for you. I've been inviting you for many times.
Oh, well, I'm coming to Canberra in a couple of weeks, doing some bling training, so I'm on the way through.
Awesome. Yeah, I should cook for you and keep feeding you. I hope your partner will recognize you after that.
I'll be like Veruca from Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. Anyway, she blew up. So moving on. So now this is an interesting question. What do you think is your superpower? What's your magic, your true essence? Why are people drawn to you specifically? Because you've got such an interesting combo.
Yes, I do. And I think people are drawn to me because in some way or other, they would love to know what is their true clarity in life, and as well because I'm pretty quirky, if you know me personally. So I think they're drawn to my energy as well. It brings them a smile on their face. And sometimes, you know, they need someone to pour their woes and their hearts out. I'm always a listening ear to them. I think this is my superpower, and that is my magic too at the same time, because I am willing to sit down in the same space, hold them safely in this way, so that they can, you know, they can be more relaxed. I think people nowadays, they are so overly tense up, plus the pandemic, it gives so much of uncertainty. So that's why I think people can't really feel at ease with themselves. Yeah.
I think that's pretty spot on.
Yes.
You know, it's just the way you talk, everything. It's nice and relaxing, you know, and it's very calm. And you're right. I mean, you know, fear is huge. The unknown, the stress, the everything, and it's still ongoing. And you know, the more we can step back into being in that present moment and just being calm and relaxed, you know, it's super, super important. So moving on, what do you think is the biggest issue facing your clients, having just moving on from
the
that?
biggest issue facing my client is that some of them, they come in for reading, but they are not really open. So it will take me a lot more time to open their heart out. And also, as well as for them, they are very skeptical about how the reading will benefit them.
Yeah.
Because even if you do a reading and some of them, they'll say, oh, it's not true, it's not true. They will call you and say, I need another reading from you. So you will face people who can't quite face the truth straight up, like you are in your birthday suit looking at the mirror. It's about knowing your strength and your vulnerabilities, and how you can incorporate the two together to actually empower you to grow as a person, to grow your business if you're a business person, or to grow your wealth in many other ways, you know. So I think that is my biggest issue right now.
And of course, I'm really big about this. A vulnerability is a strength, and you need to be vulnerable, you know. Get out of your comfort zone, do things differently, because that's how you grow. And so, you know, I'm talking my language, and it's just holding hands until people build up that confidence and can move forward. Love it. So, you know, you've had a really interesting journey so far. So overall, through all the knowledge that you've acquired, your experience and wisdom, what would you see as your 3 top tips that you could pass on to viewers?
My 3 top tips is to really rest well, to eat well, and to drink well. What I mean is that first, to rest. According to Chinese medicine, resting between 11 to 3 is actually good to detox the liver and to actually channel out all those clutters in the mind. That is the best period of time, as well as because of the magnetic force where the earth is actually rotating in the solar system. It helps the body to channel out and to release and relax the tense muscle from your so-called the physical muscles and your brain muscles as well. So that is a good time to eat well, to eat soulfully, to eat healthily. It's not like you're cutting out all the animal fats and what's not. But if you're vegan, vegetarian, you can have good fats like avocado, eating things like that, that's soulful to replenish the body, what it really requires. And drinking enough water is the main thing. A lot of my friends, clients, they do not drink enough water. They end up having probably acne outbreak or having dehydration. So this is my first top tip. The second tip I would have for people is to actually honor your heart. Sometimes everyone is intuitive in their own different ways. If you feel something funny, actually itching your heart, I would say itching your heart, you must listen to it, because if you're not comfortable with the person, don't try to force it through. It's all right that you can have a hi-bye relationship. It is okay. You are not doing someone else a disservice, but if you forcefully do it, like how I do for my own self, and I learn it painfully, you will end up suffering a lot of resentment and a lot of having a lot of bad experiences and bad memories. That will be pretty much, I would say, a disservice to your heart and to yourself as well as towards the others. And the last tip I would have for everyone is to take a walk in the woods, breathe in the polyphenol, let the nature take away your pain and take away your stress. And looking at the natural color of nature, it helps to relax the eye, to relax the mind. So that when you walk out the nature itself, the woods, the park, you are able to think clearly and you can be more creative in that sense. I hope this helps everyone.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I used to do some other podcasts with another guy called Harry, and we would pick different wellbeing topics. And, being in the woods and nature, very, very cathartic, very healing, but also hugging a tree. Hugging a tree, so many benefits, reducing stress, lots and lots of things. So I highly encourage everyone to go out and hug a tree, because there's nothing better being out in nature, in the woods, hugging those trees. It's great. And also just what you said before about not drinking enough water. 80% of people don't drink enough water, like are chronically dehydrated. That's 4 out of 5 of us. Like, it's just, often hunger is dehydration. So, we encourage people to keep drinking your water. I'm a big water person. And and also when you're saying about honoring your heart, and with that resentment, what do you call it? Itching your heart. So your heart feels stuff, right? And you can feel when it's not right. And your gut is sending you those messages as well. Because I'm very big about the 3 brains: the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain, right? So the heart is feeling stuff, but your gut is sensing it, and it's sending you messages. And it's like, you've got to honor what you're really feeling, those true, authentic feelings. Because as you said, you get resentful when you go down the path like, oh, I shouldn't really be doing this. It doesn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. So yeah, fantastic tips there, Casey. Now, as I said before, you had a really interesting journey. So over your time, how have you sort of let go, stepped up, and be more? So what have you let go of in your journey? How have you stepped up? And when I say be more, have that deeper connection with yourself and with life. What have you found?
What I would say, things that I've let go is, well, I parted ways partially with my stubbornness. I need a bit of stubbornness so that it can get me motivated to get things done, to achieve my goals. But the other part of the stubbornness is when you know that things don't work out, you already intuitively know. Honor it and let go. You let yourself go, and the people who are in it go as well, so that you can still build a good, healthy boundaries and a good relationship with people. And the thing that I would say I step up is that I become more organized, and I make a clear choice to be organized by probably writing down in my diary, in my journal, and also to make sure that I get things done on time. That is the main thing. I'm pretty much a punctual person. It's just that what I mean by on time is that if I schedule for a certain, let's say, promotion to be posted on Facebook group, I will do that immediately. if that helps. And then and be more, I would say, is about receiving things as it is, sit on it and allow myself to digest of, so that I can give back more to serve.
Yeah.
And when I say giving back more to serve, it's also serving myself, because I need to prioritize myself first, so that I can actually support the others. If I am not a full cup myself, there's no way I can help anyone else, to be honest. So this is how I do for my let go, step up, and be more.
Yeah.
Also, I am thankful of my previous partners, including my ex-husband, who brought light to me, of which I stubbornly refuse to say it. And when I say it right now, actually, I have a lot of sorries to tell them and a lot of thanks to tell them. So much so that every day when I wake up, I'm thankful that I can see the sunlight and see the sunset, and giving back the healing to everyone in my life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, gratitude and positivity is everything. And, you know, you're referring to ex-partners, you know, we've all learned something, and we can choose to sort of be a Debbie Downer about it and be sort of the victim, or we can choose to rise above it, learn from those experiences and grow and move on. And that's where gratitude comes in. It helps you really shift. And I love that you journal. That's sort of my thing as well. So, yeah, really interesting. And I love how you let go of the stubbornness. You know, it's sometimes you're fighting yourself. And also love how you're putting yourself first, because you have to look after yourself first. You're no good to anybody else if you don't get yourself right. So yeah, beautiful. You're talking my language, baby.
And we are holistic healers in many different ways, but yet similar at the same time.
Yeah, same, but different.
Yes.
So so at the end of the day, what are you actually most passionate? What sort of really fires you up inside? What drives you?
What I'm most passionate about is to actually teach people to cook and eat right for themselves. That's one thing I'm being very passionate about since I was younger until now. I use food as medicine to heal my own body. As a young child, I am not a very so-called physically well person. I easily get sick, and I will run down with colds and flus or fever pretty easily. And that is why using food as medicine, I slowly learn what will work for my body and what doesn't. And I find that experimenting on my own body, it actually gives me a lot of good tips that I can share with people. And coincidentally, I think it's the act of universe as well. People who are in my life, they find that these tips are really helpful and soulful. So that is why I'm passionate about teaching cooking, in a sense. And I also hope to actually bring a lot more clarity to people's life, whether is it using card or even simple conversation, sit down and have a chat with them, you know. I am always passionate about giving back to the people around me, the surroundings, and so that they can actually benefit from it. I have no expectation they will give me back anything, but if they do, I'm always grateful, forever so grateful. Yeah.
Just beautiful attitude. And you're right, food is medicine. I studied that years ago in naturopathy back in the 90s or something, and it really opened my eyes about the healing qualities in what we're eating. Because we eat to live, we don't live to eat, right? So it's what we put in. It's there to fuel the body, the mitochondria in the cells, and it's just you can look at fried yucky food, trans fatty acids and whatever, and then healing fresh natural products, and then it really helps you have that awareness when you're choosing what to eat. How is it healing my body? And just beautiful story. So coming towards the end of our interview, down the track, how would you like to be remembered? What sort of legacy would you like to leave? Now I'm really interested in this answer.
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, I have not really thought about it, but if people want to remember me, remember my quirkiness, remember that I can actually be supportive of them. because I would love to do that for people. And also that to know that I am who I am and they can be who they are. I respect them and it will be the same from them to me. I hope, well, this makes sense because this has never crossed my mind, to be honest. Like I said, I have no expectation with friends, with anyone around me. I embrace for who they are. And I think I have heard a lot of feedback. This is how people remembered me.
Yeah.
And I hope that they remember me fondly like this.
Yeah, well, that gave me goosebumps when you were saying it. So there's something in it. Sure. Oh, man. So, by the way, Happy New Year. So,
Happy New Year to you too.
yeah. So, how are you celebrating the New Year?
Well, I'm working today because I think Chinese New Year isn't a public holiday in Australia anyways, but I make myself simple meals to actually honor whatever that comes onto my plate, and to give a lot of gratitude and thanks. I keep my New Year celebration really, really simple nowadays. It isn't anything much, but I will have to call back home to actually wish them Happy New Year, connect with them, have good chats and kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, Casey, thank you so much for being a guest on my Magic Moments.
Thank you for having me
Oh,
here.
it's been just such a pleasure because, we cross paths often through our networking, and it's just, I'm loving the opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. So how can people get in contact with you, and also tell us a little bit more about your readings, how long they are, how much they are, all that sort of stuff?
Sure. You can connect with me via my website. You just put in www.yourpersonalpsychicchef.com.
Cool.
You are able to find me there. And for my readings, it's actually $159 per 45 minutes Zoom block, or $240 per 75 minutes Zoom block. And also, you can inquire as well by sending me a message on my readings. I'm happy to actually have a free chat with you and see if we are the right fit together. Most importantly, I will love my clients, I will love you to actually be comfortable with me before you do any readings with me.
Yeah, you've got to get that match right, so you've got to feel comfortable.
Yes.
Fantastic.
100%.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to have a chat with us today. Like, really interesting. You're just such a beautiful, warm, loving person. Your energy's you just emanate goodness. And I just love the combination and the story of how you've become the psychic chef. And yeah, I just, now I'm going to be laughing all day, little moments about, you can feel the food burning, and you're not even facing it. Little things like that, things in the kitchen when I'm cooking, because I cook a lot, and just think, oh, it'd be really good if I'd known that.
Yes. I'm happy for you to actually send me a message or send me a picture how you can cook these ingredients in many other different ways. I'm happy to actually give you a suggestion, and you give it a try, you let me know.
Yeah, I will, because I'm a big Thermomix user. Do you use Thermomix?
Oh, I use Thermomix at the workplace. It's such a good product to use, and it's very convenient too.
So, well, it's like a sous chef. I've got 3 of them. My sister sells them. It's like, I love it.
Oh,
so
awesome.
quick and easy. It's fantastic. But,
Yes.
Anyway, well, once again, Casey, thank you so much. Wishing you all the best for your new year, and have a wonderful day ahead, and we'll chat soon. So see you later.
Thank you, Sally, for having me here. Have a happy new year. Bye, everyone.